Okay, the watch list for Tuesday, April 25th. The SPY gapped up today, sold off, and then came back near its highs. But really, whenever you get a big gap up in the market, it's usually miserable trading, right? The market just ends up going sideways very often. Wasn't a great day. I was nicely green. I think I was up, I don't know, 600 and something by the end of the day. Not a great day, but I've had worse, right? So it's going to go into the watch list for tomorrow. OPTT. You know what? That's not on my watch list. Actually, it probably should be. Had the gap up, and it's a lower float stock, but sellers took a hold of it all day. So I mean, you got a lot of overhead resistance now. But I was looking at the wrong thing. So I'm not, maybe put that one on your list. Okay, FUEL. Very strong volume today and closing at its highs. Definitely want to watch it tomorrow. It's extended, but you know you want to put the high flyers and the strong ones and the high relative volume stocks on watch. You know, for the next several days. So okay, my charts maybe corrected themselves. Okay, so CDTI gapped up today, sold off, and then closed at the same spot pretty much for 2 days. I'm not in love with this one, but it's kind of floating in breakout territory up here, you know, above where it's had issues at 3. So it goes on watch, but not in love with it. You know, this is one of those days I'm hoping for a nice gap playlist in the morning. We'll see. PZRX, really nice volume for this stock and closing at its highs. You did have this monster pop back in November. And it's a lower float stock. It went to 330 back in November, so this could easily have a follow-through day. That's a great relative volume for this one, and it was very strong today. So we'll see. You know, it always, when you see a big candle like that, you feel like, well, it needs to come in for a day or two. But sometimes you get a small gap down in a red to green. I mean, there's no telling what it can do, but if it meets one of my parameters, I'll be taking a trade in it. All right. STV, not in love with this one either, but it gapped up on Friday, sold off, and certainly finding buyers down here. And today closed above its open. I don't have a trigger price for it. I'm just going to watch that one trade, see if it gives me something. MITK, nice little breakout out of this flag here on the daily on very strong volume. And looking at 5-minute candles, when it popped on whatever news it was, you know, it's flagging ever since then. So, you know, it's a little less like chasing or looking at an extended stock when after a pop it's had some time to consolidate. So to me, that is worth watching. SKLN, this one's really obscure. It did have a big pop back here and a big pop back here. It had a gap up here that didn't follow through, but it's got great support below, and then it tried to break out. Remember a few days ago? Let me get that. So, and it looks like at the beginning of March, it actually traded over 15 million shares in one day. So anyway, it's trying to break out of this base here between whatever it was, you know, 210 and 250, and then you've got a few days where it's just kind of coiling, but I mean, today's volume, just to give you a clue, today's volume was 182,000. So it really needs to break up above like 3 days worth of trading before I'll get interested. And you can see how, you can just tell how thin it was whenever it looks like paint splatter versus candlesticks. To be honest with you, I added this one because my list is so small. I just thought, hey, there's a chance that gets volume. Normally that wouldn't even make my list. And lastly, I told you I had a small list. NADL. It's been really good to us in the chat room. We had a really nice trade in it, I think this day, thanks to Wayne. And now we've got 2 days lower on declining volume coming down near the 8-day. This one has big moves when it moves. Just 3 days ago, just to give you an example, 195 to 324 was the range. That's huge range, okay? And by the way, Wayne got us in around 209. Before it went to 324. So now a couple days lower, it's setting up again. Looks really good for a potential bounce. I'm going to keep this video short and sweet tonight because there's not a lot to look at. You know, hopefully we'll find some nice gappers to trade in the morning, and I'll leave it at that. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you all tomorrow.